What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. Another video about the US national debt problem, because the situation, it looks like it's just getting way out of hand, out of control with every single day passing. Because the US national debt growth literally accelerated to 5,400%. No, at this point it just doesn't make sense. I'm assuming the US government, the financials, the economists, the Wall Street experts, they see the problem. Nobody is sounding an alarm, nobody is ringing a bell, nothing like this you see in the media. Which allows me to assume that hopefully at least they're trying to solve the problem behind the scenes without causing too much concern or panic among the regular people, because yes, I understand it can make the situation even worse. But yeah, just fingers crossed they are doing something. So in today's short or maybe even medium length video, let's talk about once again about the new things I found which are even more concerning about the condition and the situation of the US national debt. First of all, yes, the US national debt reached another big mark. It just crossed recently $36 trillion. It feels like that every trillion comes several times per year at this point, something what took decades in the past. Now we see like it doesn't even make the news that much anymore. Since the beginning of 2024, and we are not even done yet, the debt already increased by more than $2 trillion. This is the third biggest increase in the history of the United States, with the first two places being taken by 2020, and guess what? 2023. The year prior. During these years, the debt increased by 4.5 and 2.6 trillions respectively. I mean, 2020 just makes sense. It is understandable why it happened. 2023, well, the situation is far from what it used to be. There is no sign of illness that much anymore. Nowhere in the world, I'm assuming, people are wearing masks. The economies are fully reopened. Yet, we are still printing money like there is no tomorrow. And here are the crazy numbers. Since the beginning of the Biden's administration, pretty much in 4 years, the US national debt increased by $8.2 trillion, reaching once again 36 trillion. It took 43 presidents before Biden and a combined 216 years just for the US debt to cross for the very first time $8.2 trillion. And here, I'm not gonna just blame everything on Biden obviously, but right here, the entire administration just did everything which took 216 years. They did it in 4 years. So as you can see, the US national debt growth accelerated in comparison to that previous period combined. It accelerated by 5,400%. Is this a big number? Absolutely. And the biggest portions of this debt consist of the following things. $17.9 trillion are held by the household, 12.6 trillion are in the mortgages, 1.6 trillion are in the car loans, then 1.6 trillion more in student loans, and then $1.2 trillion are in credit card debt. In the last 10 years, the average household debt increased also by 55%. And the credit card debt since 2020 only in the last 4 years also increased by 53%. So obviously there is a lot of delinquencies, people default, they can no longer make payments. That is why these once again delinquencies and defaults on credit card loans and card payments, they reached the maximum levels since 2008, right in the middle of the greater financial crisis. And now let's talk about the US federal budget. So in 2024 they received $4.92 trillion. This is $480 billion more than in the previous year, or approximately 11% more. However, the American government spent $6.75 trillion, which is $617 billion more than the year prior, or 10% more. So as you can see, that's a simple math, they spent way more than they earned. The deficit, if you want to be precise, is $1.83 trillion, which is also 8% higher than the year before. Then we also have the budget deficit, which according to the most recent data in October 2024 represented $257.5 billion, which is 4 times bigger than October of the last year, 2023, when this number was only mere $66.6 billion. This is the second biggest deficit in the US history. And well, once again, the numbers, they simply speak for themselves. You can see right here, for example, all the income and outcome which goes in and out of the US federal budget. And well, if you take a look at the right side of this, if you want to call it like a graph, and the fourth biggest expenditure are the interest payments alone on its extraordinary high debt of $36 trillion. More than $1 trillion per year are simply wasted into nothingness, paying down the self-created problem. Once again, to sum up this video, I do hope that the US government knows about this problem. If a random YouTuber with 90 views per video, which by the way guys, thank you so much. Imagine 90 people, that's how many of you are watching, thank you for this. So yeah, if a YouTuber knows that this is happening, hopefully, and the US government knows that as well, hopefully they're doing something behind the scenes, because the problem is unsustainable. They are kicking the can down the road, but they already see the dead end in front of them. Hopefully they're gonna start solving problems sooner rather than later, because the problem eventually will escalate, boil over, and then we are potentially expecting a financial apocalypse. Until then, let's see. So guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. See you on Monday.